A very good morning to you. Many thanks for joining us here on KBC Channel 1. You are just in time for BizCheck, and it is the 3rd day of November. When we talk about November, we are talking about Black November, the month when retailers make crazy sales. There's a rush for discounts and promotions. We shall be having a conversation about that in just a little bit. My name is Betty Kiptum. Welcome to the program. Now in studio, we have Juan Seco. He is the Chief Executive Officer of Jumia Kenya, and we want to talk about matters Black November. Welcome, Juan.
Thank you very much, Betty.
Karibu sana. So let us just start off with what is Black November and how did it come about?
So Black Friday, as we call it internally, and in the industry, is the month where everyone comes together in the ecosystem, not just Jumia as an e-commerce, but all the sellers, all the partners that we have come together to offer the best prices to our customers. It's literally, we call it Black Friday because it's really the month where most of our partners are going to be able to turn some of their numbers from the red, which in accounting it turns out to be a loss, to black, a profit month.
So in the developed markets where Black Friday has been a thing for years, it is the month that makes record sales. In Kenya, it has been around for a few years. How have you seen it perform, and what do you foresee for this year?
Yeah, for us, it's the most exciting time of the year. As an e-commerce, it's when we are able to leverage all the tools that we have at our disposal, all our partnerships, to make sure that the customers get the best offers, the best prices in the website available. That's when we are able to excite everyone to try e-commerce for the first time. So as a month, it's really when we try to bring everyone to try e-commerce for the first time, and for our customers that have been shopping with us for the longest time, they know that this is also the time when they can finally find good deals that probably they couldn't find in other offline or in other times of the year.
And how have you seen it perform over the years in the Kenyan market?
So over the years, when we started, it obviously took a bit of education and explaining to the customers what it meant, right? That black is nothing sinister, that it was a great opportunity for you to shop on Jumia. So over the years, we've been evolving. We've been bringing some other things that make it more exciting. In the past, we used to do the cow, or we've offered a mbuzi for 100 bob. We always try to bring exciting offers to the customers to come and visit the website. This year, for example, we will start tonight at midnight with a Bebanaso offer. Basically, we will have hundreds of items available for 100 bob, from a TV, phones, but also groceries. Anyone can go shop on our flash sale that starts at midnight and try to find an item for 100 bob that they like.
So the e-commerce industry in Kenya accounts for about 2% of retail sales. That is still very low, and it means there is a lot that needs to be done. What is Jumia doing, and what more can the industry do to improve e-commerce sales? Yeah,
2%, you can see it as low, but it's a massive opportunity, right? It's the beginning of something huge. In the economy, we tend to look at it as a hockey stick growth expecting, right? When you think about a hockey stick, it's very low at the bottom, but then it goes into a long stick of growth. That's exactly how we see e-commerce right now in Kenya. In other parts, when you say 2%, it is a whole of retail share of the GDP, and retail share of GDP is massive, right? So it's early, it's 2%, but in some categories, phones, TVs, we are above that 2% for sure, because people feel more comfortable or have been accustomed to buy phones and TVs for a longer time. With COVID, what happened is that people started to, look more carefully at, at their items. There was no ability to go out onto the market, potentially staying at home. So they started to feel more confident, or were forced to look at other categories, such as beauty, groceries, etc. And that's what happened over the last couple of years. People starting to buy not just electronics, but anything that comes to mind when it comes to groceries, beauty, even home items, etc. And those are categories that have grown massively over the past 2 years.
Right.
In the past year, what is happening is that people are now seeing great offers. Their pockets are potentially a bit better because they see a bit more certainty in the economy and no lockdowns coming up. Obviously, there's inflation and other factors affecting it. But what we're seeing is a resurgence also of electronics, phones, TVs, are becoming again a bigger share of our sales.
As you mentioned, during the COVID period, there were some changes that happened. Did you have to expand some portfolios or even introduce new portfolios to your array, so to say?
So the way Jumia works, it's a marketplace. In the same way that you have a marketplace in the offline market where people avail the space to sellers come and offer that and customers coming, it's an online marketplace. So as an online marketplace, a seller, anyone can come to the platform, log in, enroll themselves as a seller and offer any item that they think would be at a good price. It's up to the seller to then, make his price the most attractive, make sure that the content, as we call it, but basically how you describe that item, that the pictures are attractive, etc. And that's how we train also our sellers to say, this is how you should sell online and how your sales will increase. So as opportunities come, the marketplace itself evolves into that. Sellers will figure out that, it's a time for groceries, it's a time for electronics, and they compete against each other to make sure that the best price is then available to the customers. And the customers, in the same way that when you go to a market, you look for the best prices, the same thing happens on the Jumia platform. And that's what we offer, the platform to avail anyone to sell and for any customer to shop.
Right. During that COVID period, this demand and also the lack of physical movement pushed some retail stores that are only brick and mortar to come up with, online sales websites, or so to say. So is this competition that came in for you, and how are you handling it?
Actually, it's not competition. It was great for us. What it meant is that people that potentially were a bit reticent to go online because they saw it as a threat, figured out that this was a new channel for them where they could make, an expansion. Jumia is an amazing tool for you if you are an offline only player. Not only because, you can tap into the whole market, into the whole country from one point of distribution, but we avail the website for you for all the customers to shop, but also anything that comes behind it. You can have your stores, your good store at that warehouse. You can literally operate shop for the whole country from Jumia. So many of these offline retailers that came on Jumia during COVID have now seen to trust online as a great distribution channel for them.
So as Black Friday is coming up, there'll be a very huge influx of customers on the websites, trying to secure deals. And also the payment bit of it. How are you working to make sure that websites don't crash and people don't miss out on their deals because of, an internal issue?
Yeah, I can tell you that past month or even 2 months has been all about preparedness, right? We've been doing, a lot of tech effort to make sure the website is ready to go, tenfold, accept 10 times the traffic that we usually have, make sure that there's no, as you say, that there's no crashes and there's redundancies in place in case that happens. So everything is already set up to make sure that, if we go way beyond what we expect, which is already massive, that we are ready to handle it. When it comes to customer, experience and making sure that they have the best experience when they shop online, again, fully ready. I can tell you the team has been working crazy hard. We will be going back to the office at 8 p.m. to make sure everything is ready and working overnight. There will be extra trucks delivering from midnight all the way down to morning to make sure that deliveries are starting to happen as soon as orders start to come at midnight. So there's a lot of extra effort that's been put in place, and the whole team is gonna make sure that we deliver.
All right. I'm curious. You're saying that there's an offer for 100 shillings on everything. Of course, other retailers are going to have various offers. For the retail market, how do you make such sales make business sense? Yeah.
No, exactly. So it's an effort. It's a way of making sure that people shop online for the first time. It's a way to make sure that people come into the website and see other offers that are going to certainly be appealing. So some of it you can see as a way to entice customers to go and browse. Some of it is genuine offers from partners that are really, bringing that offer to also, figure out that that's going to bring customers to shop later on. What you want is to have this opportunity that customers are going to come to the website, try it, feel excited about, getting an item for 100 bob. Next time they will shop and come for whatever else that they feel they trust. It's about us making sure that it's an investment to make sure that customers try it for the first time and then continue shopping online, because shopping online is the most convenient way to shop once you trust it. There's no, I myself shop online all the time. I'm not going back. Certainly there are items that you shop offline that maybe you cannot see online, or that you want to, there are some specificities to it that you want to check. But shopping online as a way of saving time and saving money is definitely the way to go. And we want to make sure that people try it for the first time, or if they have tried it before and having doubts of coming back, then this is the way to make sure that they come back.
You have seen a number of memes going around. I mean, what you order versus what you get. How is the e-commerce industry working to make sure that what they promise is what they actually deliver?
Yeah, that's a great question. If you go on that takes education also, and it takes practice, even as a shopper of online. If you go on Jumia, for example, you will see we have a seller score. A seller score is our way of telling the customer, hey, beware of this customer, or by the way, this is an amazing customer. There's also the customer reviews. We tell people, as soon as you make an order on Jumia, please do make a review of your order. How was it? Was it up to the expectations? And that also goes into the seller score. The seller score is not only the customer reviews, it's also performance. Is it delivering the item on time to us so that we ship it to the customer? Is it delivering the right item so that we don't have to cancel the order, back to your point, or having the customer frustrated that he didn't get the right color that he wanted or the right item? So all of that is making sure that the marketplace over time behaves in a way that makes, takes the customer as the first, guardian, if you want, of the whole marketplace.
As you anticipate this influx of sales and orders, there is bound to be a mishap somewhere.
Yeah.
How are you preparing for it, especially things like delays, or as you said, just receiving something you did not order for? How are you preparing for it, and how do you make sure that you do not lose this customer who has come in, say, for the first time, and then this is the experience?
I can tell you that's the major obsession that we have. Like, the only way we prepare is by over-preparing. So we make sure that all the items are already, for the items that we think are going to sell the best, they're already inbounded since the last couple of days. The team is over-prepared to make sure that if there's a mishap, immediately there's going to be an order, coming up to replace that order that we have lost. It tends to be a very infinite number of orders that happen, but obviously they make a lot of noise when they happen.
Yes.
What we try to make sure is mitigate those frustrations, call the customer immediately, for example, if we see that is happening, and ask him, do you want to replace it? Do you want to cancel the order? Let's not forget that also Jumia avails cash on delivery for all the items. So as a cash on delivery, what that means is that you only pay once you see the item, once you are convinced that's what you want. If you buy at the time of delivery and it turns out that that's not what you want, you still have 14 days to return it. So we're trying to make sure that the customer's experience is as good as possible and mitigate all those frustrations that we know can happen. But if they happen, there's always a fallback.
And what are the new trends in the market right now?
So in terms of new trends, as I told you, last couple of years, what we saw people is really trying to buy other things apart from electronics, beauty. So this year we have, Garnier coming in, Nivea, for example, as a gold partner. But as that progressed, and we have also groceries becoming part of the baskets that customers buy online, over the last year, we saw also electronics having a resurgence. So phones, we will be having phones at less than 10K. Transsion, who is the metrics behind Infinix, Techno, and ITEL, is what we call a platinum partner. So they will be co-sponsoring the event and availing, amazing prices on all their phones. We will have phones at below 10K. We will also have TVs below 10K. So, what we see also on the TVs is that people are moving towards bigger size TVs, right? What used to be 32-inch, now people are feeling comfortable in buying 43-inch because the prices make sense for them.
All right. Currently, the world is going through some sort of a recession. High inflation is hitting economies world over, and the purchasing power of most people has greatly reduced. How do you foresee this impacting the sales this month? So, positively, for sure. Positively.
We're going to try to make the best out of this situation for our customers. If you, the unique selling proposition that we worked around is, Dirjaleo Beyajana. We really are working hard with all our partners, all our dealers, all the brands that are behind, the products that you see online, to bring the prices to almost prices that you hadn't seen in a while, precisely because of inflation. As a result, we do think that people are going to be very conscious when they see these deals, and they're going to say, well, this is my opportunity to get, this item. Potentially, if I wait a month, I'm not going to have this price. So now it's the time to buy it. So we really think that it's an exciting time, if you are cost conscious, and the pockets of everyone are affected with inflation. That's the reality. Fuel as well. But as you are conscious, you want to make sure that you maximize your available income for those things that you need, and that's what we're trying to make.
Yeah, that's a very interesting point, because I think most people have been holding from purchasing non-essentials, so to say, in the house. So when they see it at a price that makes sense for them, or mostly does not make sense on paper, they will purchase it.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's a big effort from everyone, right? If you think of a retail perspective, you could very well sell an item of, let's put an example of 10,000 and try to make 10% margin on it. Or you can sell 10 items at the same price, but only make 1% margin on it. That's, it's a volume game, as we call it in retail. And that's really what we're trying to bring, like convince all the partners, all the brands that let's make sure we bring the prices to the minimum possible so that customers come online and find the best deals. And that's really what's going to happen this Black Friday in Jumia.
For most of the online bits, for e-commerce, most of what the customer sees is the online part, purchasing and all that. But for you as the platform or the company that sells, there's a lot of hardware to it. There is the warehousing issues, the transportation and everything that goes on behind the scenes. Kenya has had shortage in warehousing for a while. How are you dealing with this? How has your experience been since you entered the market, and how are you positioning yourselves to handle your cargo, so to say, in a better way?
By adapting little by little. You are totally right. It's not just a website. It's a massive operation behind, and it's not just Jumia. It's all our 3PL partners. We work with all of the 3PL partners in the market, right? Whether it's 3GS, Wells Fargo, etc. And all of them are connected to our network. So when an item is ordered by a customer, what happens is that we bring it into what we call our logistics network. You bring it to a drop-off point as a seller, and then we will make sure we ship it. If we have it already in the warehouse, because we offer that as an option to our sellers, then we can ship it directly. What we have been doing over the last years is adapting. Since I joined, we just moved to a new warehouse, which is way bigger than the one before, but we had already previously moved from another warehouse in Babadogo. So this is now the third warehouse in the last 5 years that we're using, and keep increasing to make sure that operations are smoother. The last warehouse is really state-of-the-art in many ways, because it's what we call, the whole warehouse is not just a storage place, but it's also a sorting space. So as items are being picked, they're already being sorted and shipped, or even what we call technically consolidated, meaning you have items from different vendors that are part of the same order. We are putting them together in the warehouse and at the same time shipping them. So the warehouse is as much a distribution point as it is a storage place, and that has made the operations way smoother. And people, I think that as they come to show, they will see that orders are coming way faster than they had in the past, at least for sure in the closer areas of Nairobi.
As much as you can improve efficiency in matters warehousing, there are some things that are beyond your power, really. Things like transport costs. Fuel prices have been going high. How are you foreseeing the current fuel prices will impact sales at this moment, and how are you handling that?
So from a customer perspective, they obviously affect their pockets. As I was saying, we are confident that the prices we are giving are a once, in a while opportunity to shop for items that you were thinking that maybe you thought the price don't make sense. But now we're really trying to get the prices that make sense to the customers. From an operational perspective, yes, it's true. Prices have gone up, fuel has gone up, the cost of deliveries are gone up. We are just trying to manage and make sure that we're still making the customer experience as smooth. The customer should not feel necessarily that pinch, because that should be already embedded in the price. And the price is really going to be amazing for this coming month for most of our customers.
Let's hope that they experience that joy.
Yes.
We are talking about matters e-commerce here on BizCheck at KBC Channel 1. We are talking about Black Friday. It's happening this month of November. Most retailers are choosing whatever Friday they want to have that happen, but we're talking about how to make sure that you as the customer are benefiting the most. This conversation is with Juan Seco. He is the Chief Executive Officer of Jumia Kenya. You can interact with us on Twitter. We are at KBC Channel 1. My personal Twitter handle is at Betty Kiptum. Talk to us. What has been your experience of Black Friday? Are you planning to participate this year? Do you trust e-commerce? What are your issues? And we shall be just sampling your views as well as your questions during this particular conversation. We want to take a quick break. When we come back, this conversation continues. Stay with Channel 1. Thank you for staying with Channel 1. You are watching BizCheck in case you just joined us. My name is Betty Kiptum. In studio, we are talking about matters e-commerce and, to be specific, the Black Friday month. That is November. Many retailers looking to rake in sales during this month, giving crazy discounts. And we just want to know how that is making business sense for the retailers and also how that is benefiting you as a customer. Remember, you can always talk to us on Twitter. We are at KBC Channel 1. My personal Twitter handle is at Betty Kiptum. Tell us what you think, your experience of Black Friday, and we shall be sampling that within this particular program. In studio, I am with Juan Seco. He is the Chief Executive Officer of Jumia Kenya. Thank you for staying with us, Juan.
Thank you, Betty.
Let's talk about this Black Friday. I mean, there are 4 Fridays in a month.
That's correct.
Does a retailer just pick a Friday? Do you do it in one Friday? Is every Friday Black Friday? How does it work?
We use that catchphrase a lot. Every Friday is Black Friday.
Okay.
It starts tonight. So tonight is the first big Black Friday. It's when all the anticipation has been built. And from now on, every Friday of the month, we'll have a specific offer. So today, is the Beba Naso, so you will have hundreds of items at 100 bob. The following Friday is the 11th of the month. So we came up with the 11% discount. It's the 11th of the 11th. So you will get 11% discount on your purchases when you shop next Friday. On the third Friday, we will have free pickup shipping across the country. So wherever you are in hundreds of our pickup stations in the country, you can decide to ship it there for free. And then on the last Friday is when everyone comes together. That's when all the deals and even more deals are appearing at the same time, and when we really push for everyone to find the deal that they want. But in the meantime, during the month, we will also have what we call super brand days. Brand days are when we work with a specific, partnering brand. This year we have 6 gold partners. We also have Infinix, Techno, itel. All of them will find a specific day. You, as a customer, you will find a specific day where all of their products are going to be massively discounted again. Great offers. So, you will have days with Nivea, you will have days with Infinix, and you can find all their products available on that day. And, as a retailer, we try to tell them that that's the day when they see their sales boom, because obviously we channel all of the traffic of the website into that specific brand.
Does it happen like this in all markets?
No, every market is different. We are trying to adapt to the consumer feedback that we're getting, right?
Yes.
Consumers telling us that I wish I had more groceries, and I wish I could see more things from Garnier, and I wish I could see more things from Nivea. And if we put it all on the same day at the same time, it's difficult to browse through the website, right? So we just try to give the breathing room across the month for people to find the deals that they want.
So I think that speaks to the importance of localization, for retailers, even beyond Black Friday month. The importance of localizing experiences, products for the market, right?
Correct. And I mean, not even products. I mean, it's even the experience. I mean, Kenya is amazing. We have M-Pesa. And, that has made our whole payment on delivery way smoother than you can find in other markets where cash is predominant. If you look at, the success rate that we have on our orders, it's way better than any other market. And that speaks to the predominance of M-Pesa in the market and people feeling comfortable in paying with M-Pesa. So it's not only that, it's also, as I say, operations, everything gets adapted to the market reality.
So for customers who are looking to make the most out of this time, what should they do? How do they get ready? I mean, is there a deadline to how the payment you should make by the time you you win the deal?
Yeah.
At what time do you make the payment? Does it expire at some point? How do they get ready to make the most of it?
So I always like to compare buying online as buying in the supermarket.
Okay.
And actually, it looks pretty much as intuitive as that, right? When you go to the offline supermarkets, you go down the aisle, you browse, you look for the items that you want in the category where you want it. If you want coffee, you go to the coffee section. If you want tea, you go to the tea section. And then you look for the brand that you like and the price that makes sense, and you add it to the cart. Once it's in your cart, you go to the payment aisle, and then you exit the supermarket. Buying on Jumia is exactly the same experience, except that it's digital. You have a website, you can have a search bar. In the search bar, just like when you do it on Google, you can put the brand that you're looking at. If you put specific brands, you will see sometimes the logo of the brand appearing that takes you to the official store. And the official store is actually us working in partnership with the official brand. We will have, for example, Adidas. Adidas will have a brand day, and it will be the official items of Adidas being available on the website, and you can see at the Adidas store on Jumia. As you add to that item, it will go to what we call the online cart. You check out, meaning you put your details where you want it shipped, your name, you pay, whether you want it cash on delivery or you want to pay it now, so that you get benefit of extra discounts from some of our partners. We'll have ABSA, Standard Chartered giving, if you're a customer of them, you can pay with your card and have extra discount. And as you check out, then you just have to wait hopefully within 24 hours potentially, but a couple of days, and you will have your item. And throughout that journey, we will accompany you via SMS, email, and calling you to make sure that you are at your place, or that to tell you that the item is already available at the pickup station if you pick that.
For the product portfolio that you have, how would you say it is supporting the Buy Kenya, Build Kenya initiative, so to say? I mean, just promoting locally made goods. How is it doing that?
Look, we have a predominance of local sellers selling on the platform. Okay. Not only that, 50% of the sellers are women. So it's exciting to see those numbers showing up. When we look at specific categories, you have traders for sure on electronics. When you look at fashion, you have guys that are pushing their items there and are able to sell great amount of deals, for their specific category, their specific items. Not only in Nairobi, but what's amazing is that you don't need to operate a store. You can be working from your home. You can be putting your items at our warehouse, and as customers come to online to shop for your items, they're being distributed by us across the country. So we really hope that the platform, and we give them support. We will train them. We will guide them. We will educate them, and we will upscale them into how to make sure that they leverage us to the best to sell their items across the country. So we really are aligned with that initiative, and we really push everyone that has local operation, local manufacturing to come on Jumia and use our platform to sell across the country.
Right. This is Juan Seco, the CEO of Jumia Kenya, talking about matters e-commerce and how the Black November month, the Black Friday November, is going, and how it's going to just benefit companies as well as customers. Rachel Njiru, the Director of Partnerships Africa, INFOBIP, is coming on set in a little bit to join us in this conversation to just give us an overview of how enterprises can leverage on technology during this month and even beyond to increase sales. We want to take a quick break. When we come back, the conversation continues. Stay with Channel One. Welcome back. You are watching BizCheck on KBC Channel 1. In studio, we are having a conversation about e-commerce, and specifically the Black Friday month, that is November, and how retailers are leveraging on this month, giving discounts, ensuring that you're getting the best deals possible. In studio, we have Rachel Njiru, the Director of Partnerships Africa at INFOBIP. She has just joined us. I have been Juan Seco, the CEO of Jumia Kenya. Welcome, Rachel.
Thank you.
Could you just give us an overview of, say, how this particular month, how enterprises, retail enterprises, can leverage on this month to make the most?
We need to start looking at Black Friday as not just a one-time event that happens on one particular day, and look at it that an event that opens up as businesses towards an entire era of shopping through the month of Christmas, where there's early shoppers, there's bargain hunters during the month, there's people who've been saving to buy their family gifts and clothing. Schools will be closed during that time, so there'll be a lot of trading happening as well. It's a time we start planning our businesses to take full advantage of the end-to-end opportunity from pre, during and after, and using the opportunity not only to increase our sales in our retail shops, but to convert them into acquisitions for future.
Acquisitions for future, acquiring new customers, and even businesses for the future. For you, Juan, when you hear what Rachel has just said, is it something that you have seen happening on your platform?
Yes, and I can only agree. As I was saying earlier, to us, this is the month where we catalyze the whole ecosystem, the partners, the brands, the retailers that are working with us to make sure that we avail the best prices and entice the customers to shop on Jumia, whether it's for the first time or whether it's been a while since you shopped and you want to come back and try the experience again. It's when we fidelize our customers. And to her point, it's totally right. It's also schools will be closed, so it's an additional factor for people to shop, not only on the e-commerce, but also, we also have Jumia Food. So you will have, people shopping from restaurants that they prefer online and bringing them to their homes and, spending more for, night dinners with the family.
So for online customers, what are they looking for? I mean, the array, the options, or rather the answers to that question are very wide.
Yeah.
But what is the profile of an online customer?
I know it depends. And it covers the whole spectrum. You have the savvy, online customers that, are the first ones to jump to the new wave of technologies. Probably they have been having a smartphone for a while. They have shopped in other websites or they believe that online is the way. And those guys or those customers will be very familiar with the online shopping. You have people that will have heard about it, or they have heard the friends and family, I've heard about Jumia, but I've never tried it. And this is when they will try to come for the first time because they've seen the billboards, they're seeing our ads, and they've seen the prices that we're offering, so that entices them to buy. And when it comes to shopping habits, the whole spectrum is available, and that's what we're trying to explain to customers. It's not just electronics, it's not just TVs or phones. You can find anything you want. Like it is available on the website, and from groceries, beauty, home, fashion, you will find it on the website. You just need to browse as you would browse in a big supermarket.
For you, Rachel, when you listen to what Juan has just said about customers and how you profile them, for businesses as they prepare to receive this customer, what do they need to have in place to make sure that they are meeting the needs of that customer?
The first thing is understanding what you want to achieve with the strategy that you create for your business. There's a very thin line of bringing the customer to your website and keeping them in that website for the next 5 seconds. It's the first 5 seconds mean a lot. So it's about the form of your site. What does it make me feel? How do I feel when I'm there? And then I'll challenge you, we need to start spending more on customer support. The journey to creating a good strategy should not just be about the journey of itself. How am I going to order? How is it going to be delivered to me? There's also what support am I getting? I think we spend so much on marketing, Black Friday and sales around that time. We forget what kind of aftercare we're giving to our customers, and not only aftercare, also during the shopping experience. So those are the spaces I would want us to look much better going forward.
So for the enterprises now, what tools are available and how can they, even the ones who do brick and mortar, how can they leverage on this market that is yet to even, it's at 2% of retail sales. That needs to be pushed higher. How can brick and mortar retailers push themselves into that market and leverage on it?
There is a lot of opportunities when it comes to joining the e-commerce side. When you look at the numbers that we currently have for social media, for example, if you cannot afford to go online with your own website, you can start with the social media. But the same concept applies. Look at it as your website. When you click on your page, if you're selling clothes, and I click on your page, how do I feel? What information is there? Do I have proper description of goods? Also, reach out. You'll be surprised, and I would like you to also tell our medium small, medium enterprise businesses, MSMEs, on how to get on platforms like Jumia. And also let's start creating policies around merchant acquisition onto e-commerce sites, and the information is there, but let's make it public. Let's create this in a format that can be easily consumed by everyday retailers in the Nairobi CBD, for them to know what they need to join these platforms, because it seems like it's far to reach, but with the information we have, it's actually very quick to be onboarded as a merchant on the e-commerce sites if you cannot afford to build one for yourself.
But isn't maybe something that the industry can do on its own to make sure that there's awareness? I mean, the government can't do it on its own. They'll probably create the policies and make the environment work for both businesses and the SMEs, as you've said. But can't the industry do more to ensure that there's awareness creation? Juan?
So, I mean, the more players, the easier it will be. It's all about awareness, as you're saying. So, on Jumia, as a seller, it's free to join. If you are, an MSME, as we were saying, you can join Jumia for free, and you can make your goods available across the country on the platform. We will train you on how to make your goods available, making sure that the experience that you see when the customers are browsing for your product is enticing for them to shop. And the whole support, the whole infrastructure to make that available, that's on us. We will, we have a massive customer service that is there to, call the customer in case of hiccups. We have a logistics network that is coordinating, where the 3PLs actually taking care of the deliveries to make sure that the items are being delivered on time. And we control, also we manage the sellers to make sure that they're bringing the goods on time, that it's the right goods that the customers ordered, to make sure that the items, are being delivered as per the specifications of the customer.
You have something to add?
Yeah, outside of creating awareness as an industry, because that might be far-fetched, because it's broader, it's going to take a while. The journey has started. It will take a while before we get there where we are comfortable that every retailer understands the journey and what it takes. I would challenge the retailers. The information is out there. Before it gets to you, seek it out. Let's see it in our shops. You know that dream you had when you ordered your first order and it came to the shops and everything was shiny and the lights were nice? Let's keep that goal. Let's keep pushing for it. So how can I get here? Ask. If I want to get on Jumia and I don't know how to, I'll go and start looking at shops. Who is there? What are the other stores that are there? And I'll find a store and I'll go sit in that person's store and I'll go like, how do you sell on Jumia, by the way? I see your customers picking up stuff here from Jumia. How do you do it? Let's consult within ourselves. We have a lot of information in this country. We are such intelligent business people in this country. We have a lot of this knowledge. Let's share it among ourselves. I might not know you need the information until you ask. So ask your neighbor first while we come to you with the information eventually.
I like that. I mean, there are some stores, I'm speaking from experience, there are some stores that you go into, they have great products, the market, their niche market that exists. That market is online, but this business is not online. Yeah. So they are missing out on a lot. So definitely businesses need to take advantage of those opportunities that are there.
Yeah. And let's not be scared about online. COVID taught us one thing. We need to adapt and adapt quickly. We were scared about online. Oh, the goods might not come on time. I might have to not get my refund or something. We now even have cash on delivery options available to make the journey easier by making different payment options available. So let's not be a bit too strict as well. Let's adapt to things that are changing. Online since COVID, everybody, I think in this Nairobi, we start with our city, I think 90% ordered something during COVID.
Right.
We couldn't leave our houses, so how did we stuff?
That is very
So let's
true.
get out there. We did it before for 2 years. We can now do it for the next 10.
We can do it for the next 10. Well, Njiru, she's coming back with more information on that. We want to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, this conversation about e-commerce continues. Stay with Channel One. Welcome back. This is BizCheck and e-commerce is the conversation we are having here. My name is Betty Kiptum. I'm with Juan Seco, the CEO of Jumia Kenya, and Rachel Njiru, the Director of Partnerships of Africa at INFOBIP. Thank you for staying with me, lady and gentlemen. Rachel, before we went on that break, you were talking about how SMEs or just businesses generally should take advantage of the opportunities or the tools available online, right? Just go on that.
Okay. So outside of using the mediums that are available to you, which is your neighbors, your neighboring shop, to be able to do that, we also need to, for us to be successful in anything, we have to be proactive and we have to be hungry for the knowledge. If you want your shop to be successful and you're looking at your counterpart, there must be somebody you're looking at and aiming to want to achieve what you perceive they're achieving. Have a conversation. I miss days when we started our careers. I think most of us have gone through that, even on the career side alone, where you'd start spending time with people who are likely minded to just learn from them. So why can't we do that with our businesses? And some of this information, courses that are available are not even expensive to teach you how to navigate those waters. You were talking about business afraid to go online because somebody will copy, and we were asking the question, wouldn't you rather make 90% higher sales, or even 20, 30 from the online store, and 5 people have copied you, than making 0 out of that community, because that community will not have reached you. From 2022, the majority, from 2022 when it started after COVID, we've seen trends, and anyone can say this, there's more people wanting to buy online. In Kenya, we have a very unique place. Manufacturers are onboarding themselves to e-commerce websites. I don't know how many Kenyans know that you can actually go to this platform today and order your grocery list, not from a supermarket anymore, but directly from a manufacturer. Go check the prices. The prices are better from the manufacturer. So is the manufacturer afraid that they're undercutting the shop? Is the shop complaining? Let's take that aspect of growing our business, that growth mindset, and not being afraid of competition. There's tough competition always. Don't be afraid of the competition. Get ahead of it and don't stop adapting to the changes. And that's the only way we're going to be successful.
Adapting to the changes.
Yeah.
Juan?
I can only ratify that. I mean, if you are an offline shop, anyone in retail will tell you it's all about traffic. How many people come to your shop, right, to see the goods that you have? Going online is, though we'll have, multiply that traffic by the millions. We're going to have millions of customers going to the app tonight at 11:59 p.m. when the flash sale starts. There will be more than 1 million customers just browsing for items. If you're a shop on our website, that's the market that you're tapping into, as opposed to having the most expensive offline shop in CBD and then only a few thousand customers shopping to your store. Same thing, and we make sure that happens. People will say, how do you know that there's going to be millions? Because we track the traffic. We know there's going to be millions, and we make sure that people are going to come with amazing offers. At the end of the month, in the last Black Friday, we will be offering a matatu for 100 bob for the lucky customer that is going to come. So, it's just making sure that people are going to be enticed to shop, and so that our sellers are able to tap into that customer base that they'll never be able to tap if they just stay offline.
So as we come to a close of this conversation, I'd like to hear your thoughts on matters the future of the e-commerce industry in Kenya and just the direction that retailers need to take to meet the needs of the customer. I'll start with you, Rachel.
There's a phrase that's used in the INFOBIP corridors a lot. We are just starting. Let us always just have that mindset, even in our own. I use it in my own. It's a company go-to line for everything we do, but I use it personally as well, and I'll challenge people to start using it as well. You are just starting. Even when you make your mark, you reach your goal, you are just starting. There's a lot to learn. When you look at Jumia as a marketplace, I'm sure you're looking at Amazon and saying, I want to be the Amazon of Africa one day. I hope so. And maybe you're already reaching that target and the goal, and when you get there, there's a bigger goal to go. So let's keep learning and unlearning and moving and not being afraid to face new challenges.
Continuous learning and growth.
Yes.
Very important one.
I mean, there shouldn't be any fear to go online. That would be my message to retailers. Come to a website, you will see, I want to become a seller on Jumia. We will guide you through that whole journey. It's not, you're not coming into this journey by yourself. You will be trained by our staff that is really making sure that you're going to be able to deliver the sales that you want. And as a customer, I say the same thing. There's really no fear of online. when you come to Jumia, we're going to make sure you can pay on delivery so that you only pay when you get your item. If you don't like the item that you got because it doesn't fit you, because it's not up to the specs that you wanted, no problem, you can always return it within 14 days. We are really making sure that the experience is seamless across the board and you can try it anytime.
Awesome. Thank you very much for your thoughts.
Thank you.
I have been speaking with Juan Seco, the CEO of Jumia Kenya, as well as Rachel Njiru, the Director of Partnerships Africa at INFOBIP. We have talked quite a lot on matters e-commerce. Be sure to take advantage of those deals tonight and throughout every Friday, so to say. And for the retailers, make sure you're making the most in terms of onboarding new customers, new products, and just growing your business.